y'all doing? And by the title of this video, I'm sure y'all could have understood that this time we won't be using Python, but we will be using Java to build a scientific GUI calculator. Now that seems pretty fun. All I want y'all to do is just stick with me and try and follow whatever steps we will be doing right now. So firstly, I want y'all to go ahead and create a new project. I will be using NetBeans IDE. All right. So let's give it a moment. And there you go. You've got to select Java, nothing else. And let's select next. And for the time being, I will be naming it calculator. And what I want y'all to do is go ahead and deselect creating a main class, because we will be creating a JFrame which will have a class of its own. And let's hit finish. Okay, so this will take a moment and that's it. We're done. And now from the calculator project out here, select a new JFrame form and name the class as Calci. Will do. You just give it any name you want and finish. On doing this, you will get a resizable window on which you can place various buttons, labels for your actions. All you have to do is you just create the code as to whatever should happen on, let's say, clicking the button or maybe displaying text and so on. So as you see, this is your resizable window. And now I'm going to go ahead and show you all a demo of a button that we will be using for our calculator. Now, why not sit and write all the code by yourselves? Because that's going to be so long that it might reach up to 1,000 lines. And let's just stick to putting the logic by ourselves and let the designing part happen by itself, right? So what I did was added a label out here, and here we have our answers being displayed. And I'll go ahead and select a button next from the side palette out here, from wherein you can select all your widgets. You can resize your button as and how you want it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you all how you all can design a single button, and you all can go ahead and simply copy paste it. So you can edit the text. Let's say I'm going to give the number 0 here. Okay. And next, for designing purposes, go ahead and select properties from the drop down menu. So what you can see is from the properties, you have background, foreground, font, and all of this. This is what we'll be using. So background, let's say I want to set it to black. You get a nice color palette out here. I'm going to go ahead and select black. Foreground, I'm going to keep it white. That is, the lettering of the text in the button will be white. And let's say you want to change the font. You can do that. Maybe make it bold. Change the size to 12 and so on. You can have a preview of how this thing will look. This being done, one important thing I want you all to do is for each button, go to code out here, and I need you all to change the variable name. Okay. In that way, you can access each function or each button using its name. Otherwise, you'll have J button 1, J button 32 and so on, which is really confusing. So I'm going to name it, let's say B0. So button 0. So on, you can name plus, minus, and so on. That's it. That's all you need to do. And go ahead and design your answer text box also. And let's go ahead and show this preview to y'all. I'm going to go ahead and run it. And there you go. And there you go. Do you see this button out here? That's it. Pretty nice black button and with a white 0 in here. Okay, now I have a calculator that I pre-built for y'all, so that y'all can see how it basically looks like, and y'all can add in all the buttons according to how I have added it. You can, of course, go ahead and put all different buttons of your choice too. Now let's go ahead and see how y'all can actually put in the code for these buttons. And this is where the answer gets displayed, all right? Now, I'm going to show you all, firstly, let's cover up the numeric buttons. So all you have to do is either right click on a button, go to events, action, and action performed. Okay, this will open up the function for you where you have to write your code. Otherwise, a very simple, straightforward way, simply double click on the button and you reach your function that you have to edit. So firstly, what we have to do is you place in the number. Whatever number is placed in there, you store it in a string num, answer.getText. Now what is answer? Answer is basically the variable name of my text box. Okay, this I have named the variable as answer. So answer.getText, that is whatever was previously put in the text box, plus I also want the text in the button, that is the value 0. So answer.getText plus b0.getText. And next we have to rewrite whatever is selected into the text box, right? So answer.setText, and to that you pass the parameter num. That's it. That's all you need to do. Go ahead and copy the same code for all the remaining 9 numeric buttons. Your only changes, you make it either B0, B1, B2 and so on. Now that we're done with the numeric buttons, let's try out the arithmetic functions. Plus, minus, multiplication and division. Double click on the button and you will come to each separate function. So I have my plus function open out here. And what I'm doing is, we always need 2 operators, right, to operate on. What you do is, we need 2 operands to operate on, right, my bad. So num1 will be your first operand. And what you do is, it has to be of the type double because you cannot deal with strings, right? So you convert the answer.getText into double. So double.parse double. Next, you have to remove whatever is there in the text box so that when you enter the next number, it can simply be extracted. So answer.setText, put in an empty string, and you need to save your operation. That is, let's say we are performing addition, so the plus symbol should be stored in a variable operation. That's all you need to do for plus, minus, multiplication and division. Simply keep changing the sign of the variable operation. Now, what I want to show you all is, y'all can access this code by simply clicking source, go back to design, come back to source and so on. Go right at the top, okay, and declare these variables that you'll need for your arithmetic operations. That is of the type double, num1, num2 and result, and of the type string, operation and answer. Okay, these variables are a little required. Now that we have finished with plus, minus, multiplication and division, I want us to deal with 2 more buttons that need 2 operands. That is x raised to y will need 2 operands, and the mod operator also. Mod, what does it do? It simply gives us the remainder of a division. So just go ahead and copy the same code, okay, of your plus function and place it in here. All you need to do is change the operation symbol. And what else? Okay, let me go ahead and show you all x raised to y. Again, you all do the exact same thing, just change the operation symbol. That is, I've given the raised to symbol here. Now that we have done all of this, it's important that we finish off with the equal to sign, right? Because we need to perform it. So we have finished all the numbers. Basically, the first 3 rows are kind of almost done. Let's have a look at equal to. This is a little long, but very easy logic. So firstly, we need to extract the second operand and you store that inside the variable num2, exactly how you did num1. Now you need to keep a conditional check going on to check which operation the user has selected. So if operation is equal to plus, you need to perform these 3 lines only. What you do is, inside result, you store the addition of num1 plus num2. Okay, now you need to convert this result into string type, otherwise we won't be able to print it, right? So you say inside a variable answer, string.format mod.2f. I've given .2f because I just want 2 values after the decimal point. You all can go ahead and change it. And next you pass the parameter of whatever number you wanted to format into string. And lastly, remember, we need to change the text of the text box, right? So simply say answer.setText, and to that you pass the variable answer. Now that we are done with plus, go ahead and copy this exact same thing for minus, multiplication, division, and mod operator, and the raised to. Okay, just keep putting else if and keep copying it out. All you have to change is the operation symbol out here and in the result. Okay, pretty simple. Simple logic. And I'll just show you all what to do with operation raise to. So inside result, I'm calling the math.power function and num1 comma num2. So it will give us num1 raised to num2. Now we have seriously finished off with a lot of functions, right? Let's go ahead and see a very simple one, pi and square root. Okay, let's have a look at pi and square root. Then I'll come back to x raised to 2. Okay, so where pi, you all might have guessed it already. You simply need to store math.pi in a variable num and simply print the string value of it. So string dot value of num and set it inside the text. Next, let's have a look at square root. Math.sqrt, that's all you have to call. Everything is the same, you just keep copy pasting. Let's have a look at sine, cos, tan also, because it's exactly the same as the square root button. You only have to keep changing it. Here you have math.log. I'm just mentioning the changes that you'll need to do. Math.log, math.tan, cos, and sine. That's it. You have finished off so many buttons in just like a minute. Isn't that pretty nice? That's why you need to just have your GUI ready. Now that we've seen all of this, x raised to 2 and x raised to 3 will be exactly the same. You just need to say math.power x or whatever variable, let's say num comma 2 or else num comma 3. Similarly, you'll have 1 by x. Let me just show this to you all. X, what were you doing? Yeah, 1 by x, right? So there you go. You have another variable. To that, you simply overwrite it by x is equal to 1 by x and print the string value of it. Now, I guess that's all we have left, or I guess the dot operator is left. Next, I'll be coming to clear and backspace, which is very simple, but you just need to have a little bit of attention out here. So what we need to do is, firstly, we check if there is already a dot operator in there. We don't want to replace it because there isn't any mathematical number as such, right, with 2 dots. So if not of answer.getText dot contains, okay, you need to use the function contains, and to that you pass the dot operator. If that is not the case, then you simply answer.setText. Again, we have to extract whatever was previously there in the text box, and to that we append dot.getText. Now what is dot? It's simply the variable name of the button, and I'm getting the text inside the button. And that's it. You have finished all of them. Now let's come to the 2 most important buttons out here, that is clear and backspace. Clear is seriously the simplest of all. All you have to do is answer.setText and you pass null to it. Now let's come to a little complicated of a function, okay? That is backspace. Now we need to delete only the last character in it, right? So what we do is, inside a string backspace, we give it the value null. Next, what we do is, if answer.getText.length, okay, we need to check if there is any text in the first place. If it is there, that is, if length is greater than 0, then what we do is we call the string builder class and instantiate it with a new, let's say, object. So string builder SB is equal to new string builder, and to that you pass answer.getText. So whatever text was inside the text box, it gets stored into SB. Now what we will be doing is we need to delete the character exactly at the end. So what you do is sb.delete char at. Be sure of the upper and lower cases. Okay. So delete char at, and to that you pass answer.getText.length. Okay. -1. Why -1? Because we need to remove the last character, right? Hence the length -1. Lastly, what you do is inside backspace, you store the string format of your last character deleted string. So sb.toString, you simply convert it, and then you set the backspace text into the answer text box. So answer.setText and backspace, and that's it. We are done with all the buttons in our calculator. That was it. Pretty easy, right? And now I'm going to go ahead and perform a few functions and show this to you all. So let's take a very simple one, 78 plus 2. And there you go. On hitting equal to, we do get 80. Answer is correct. Let's check out some trigonometric functions. Let's say I'm going to hit clear now. Works fine also. Let's check 89. Let's say sine of 89. This is what you get. But make sure these are all radian values. Okay. Degree. Did we do degree? Oh, okay. Let's go ahead and show you all how to perform the degree. Again, it's very simple. You just call math.toDegrees and pass the number inside it, whatever you extracted it from the text. Make sure it has to be of the type double. And that's it, right? Nothing very, very difficult. Let's hit backspace. Works fine too. Let's take square root of 4. And that works absolutely fine. You all can go ahead and try out various functions such as this. I hope you all had fun. Bye-bye. I'll see you all soon.